guys! Well, I'm finally back with another book review, and today I'm going to be reviewing one of my most anticipated books of this year, actually my most anticipated book of the year, and that would be Perfect by Ellen Hopkins. And you haven't seen this in a haul yet because I just bought it a couple days ago, and I've been reading it, and I just finished it last night, so I decided to just do a review instead of putting it in a haul. So, here it is! I usually don't do this, but I'm going to start off by reading an excerpt from the back of the book, which is basically the first page of the book, so I'm just going to do that to give you a little glimpse of how this book is. And this is a poem that is told through the perspective of Kara, who is one of the main characters. Perfect? How do you define a word without a concrete meaning? To each his own, the saying goes, so why push to attain an ideal state of being that no two random people will agree is where you want to be? People can never attain these, and anyway, when did creating a flawless facade become a more vital goal than learning to love the person who lives inside your skin? The outside belongs to others, only you can decide for you what is perfect. Perfect? How, why, where, when, who, what is perfect? Well, I'm going to answer that question right now. Perfect is the companion novel to Impulse. It just came out this past, I think last week probably, and I got it as soon as I saw it in Walmart, and I'm so happy I read this book. It is so phenomenal. Basically, this book takes place at the same time that Impulse is taking place. So while Impulse tells the story of Vanessa, Tony, and Connor, this tells the story of Kara, Kendra, Sean, and Andre. First you have Kara, who is the twin sister of Connor, and she is coping with having her brother try to kill himself and get sent to Aspen Springs, which is a mental institution for kids that try to kill themselves. And she's also dealing with struggles at home with her parents trying to force her to be perfect, even though she's struggling with so many other things, and it's just so overwhelming for her. I think Kara was definitely my favorite character out of all the characters in this book. She was so strong. It's overwhelming how much she goes through in this book, and she is such a strong character. I absolutely loved her. She was definitely my favorite in the book. Then you have Kendra, who is the ex-girlfriend of Connor. Kendra is also struggling with her relationship with Connor and wondering why he tried to kill himself, and among other things. She's also being pressured by her parents, or more specifically her mother, trying to become a model and get into the modeling career. And she develops an eating disorder because of this. And Connor is struggling with the loss of his father, who just passed away recently, and he's also struggling to attain perfection through his sports career. Sean plays baseball in high school, and he's trying to get into Stanford so that he and Kara can have a relationship together in Stanford. Because him and Kara are dating, and he develops a sort of addiction to steroids because of this. Sean was definitely my least favorite character in the book. He was the only character I didn't really like, and that's the only thing I didn't like about this book, was Sean. Sean was completely selfish and horrible. The things they did were horrible in this book. I won't say what they are just because I don't want to spoil anyone, but I really did not like Sean in this book at all. Then the last character is Andre. Andre is black, and I really like how Ellen Hopkins did that, because usually you don't see that in YA books. You don't see other, races of people in books these days. I don't understand why. So I really appreciate that Ellen Hopkins actually wrote about a character that wasn't white. And Andre is struggling with his parents, and his parents are trying to pressure him into becoming a lawyer or a doctor or some, huge career where he'll get a lot of money, when in all reality, he actually wants to become a dancer. He loves dance. It's his passion. It is seriously his passion in life. He loves it, but it's not a career that brings in big bucks. He grew up thinking that money is everything, and it's not important to have a job you love, it's important to have money. And his parents were just really annoying. Specifically, his father was completely and utterly he just bugged the hell out of me. He thinks that Andre is gay just because he likes to dance, which is complete, again, bullshit. And Andre is my second favorite character in this book. Maybe she's pretty much tied with Kara, I think. I absolutely loved Andre. He was such a good character. He was completely selfless, honestly. Andre was basically the complete opposite of Sean, which I was happy about because I really did not like Sean, so it was nice to have a character that was completely the opposite, and I loved Andre so much. I also really liked how Ellen Hopkins threw in the subplot of racism into the book. I did not expect that at all, because Andre gets a relationship with Kendra's sister, and Kendra's father is a bigot and evil, and I hate her father so much. And I honestly had no idea that some schools in the South are still segregated. Honestly, that completely scares me, because I don't even understand why that is. I mean, yes, I know the racists are still out there, but to have schools still be segregated in some parts of the country just terrifies me. I mean, what the fuck is this, the 60s? Have we gone back in time? Oh my god, I was so shocked about that. I also loved how Ellen Hopkins kind of threw in pieces from Impulse into this book. You will see characters from Impulse in this book, but I will not say who, just because I don't want to spoil it, so I'll just leave it at that. And this book has so many great messages and meanings in it. It is such an essential book for teenagers to read about, because these issues happen. There are people out there that, you know, develop anorexia and try to be perfect and are struggling with the pressures from their parents, and there's just so much in this book that kids need to read about. And yes, it does have mature content, but, you know, I still think that people that are over the age of 14 should read this book, because it is just so essential to most teenagers in life, because there are struggles that teenagers are going through. One of which I have gone through a lot, and that's bullying, and cyberbullying more specifically. I did not expect that in this book. I really enjoyed that she put that in there, and everyone, this is YouTube. We all go through cyberbullying all the time, or most of us do anyway, and I really, respected Ellen Hopkins for putting that in this book. To sum this book up, and to give you a bad pun, this book is absolutely perfect. Honestly, I don't think that perfection exists, actually. I really don't, especially after reading this book. No one is perfect, and I believe that people need to, think about who they are as people, and not who they look like or how they act, but how they think about themselves inside. I think that's very important for teenagers to learn. I definitely think that this is Ellen Hopkins' best book to date. Honestly, it was just so amazing. This book was just so brilliant. I highly recommend it to anyone that loves Ellen Hopkins, or really any teenager in general, because I think this is so essential for teens to read about, and it was just so wonderful. I loved it so much. So currently I am reading The Mission by Jason Myers, and I'm about halfway through. However, I'm kind of struggling with it, so hopefully I'll be able to finish this and review it, but if not, I'm going to try reading Clockwork Angel instead, because I like that more. So we'll see what happens with my next review. So I hope you all enjoyed this review. Please, please, please pick up this book and read it. You will love it, I promise. And I will see you guys next time.